Vanakkam, Namaste. In this series of Periya Puranam, today we will be seeing maybe 3 or 4 Nayanaar's story. Some of them are very small, but they lived a grand life, and some of them they did their service to Lord Shiva. So we are going to see those 4 great Nayanaars. The first one we will be talking about Dandiadigal Nayanaar. As Sundaramurti says, Nattamigu Dandikku Moorkarukkum Adiyen. Those are the words of Sundaramurti Nayanar. So we will see what this great Nayanmar had to give to the society. Dandiadigal, as we all know, he was born in Thiruvarur, the great Kshetram, but he was born as a blind child. Despite not having the outer eyes, the mundane eyes as we say, but he had his eyes of knowledge, what we call in Tamil Jnana, were helping him to live as a great devotee of Shiva. So internally he has visualized Lord Shiva several times, and that has made him that has given him a great joy. For that, many aspirants are working still hard to introspect and understand the Brahman which is sitting inside our self and Atma. But for Dandiadigal, it was a natural thing because he did not see the outside Maya world. He was always seeing with his eyes of knowledge. What was his daily routine? If he is not able to see the outside world, he will somehow go around the Thiruvarur temple, which is quite a huge temple. He will go around. Early morning, somehow he'll get up, take a bath, and then go around the temple. And then every day, not a single day missing, every day he used to go there. And then while doing that pradakshinam or circumambulation, as we say, from right to left when you turn, his tongue will utter the Panchakshara mantra of Om Namah Shivaya. So he chanted this Om Namah Shivaya throughout his pradakshina or going around the temple, and that is how he spent his morning hours. Because, as Sacred Art says, this is a rare gift or very, very unusual gift to be given to anyone, to go around the temple every day. That is, not many people can get that, maybe 1 in 100,000 or 1 in what we call crore, billion, maybe getting that opportunity to go around the temple. Even now we have a practice, at least during Dhanur Masam, that is the December 15 to January 15 before the Makara Sankaranti. During the month of Margazhi, which is considered very auspicious as the early or what we call the Brahma Muhurtam for the Devatas, who come and do the pujas in all the Shivalaya. So in that way, people go around the 4 streets which are surrounding the temple. Even now some of them do that. But Dandiadigal was doing in his time every day around the temple. So that was a thing. So even to do that pradakshina, one should have been blessed from his previous karma. Good karma, that is what he is bringing around to go around the temple. This was his routine. And then in the western side of the temple, there was a huge temple tank, what is called the Kamalalayam. Okay, so, but at that time, Jainism was intruding into the southern part of India. So many Jains have built some of their living places or staying temples or something like that around the temple, and thereby they were reducing the perimeter of the temple tank. It is a huge tank. Even now it is inside the temple. So even now you can see that. Now like it is how huge it is. So they were kind of encroaching with all their buildings. I mean, there is no, for a human living, that's okay, but not inside the temple. Temple property cannot be misused. So they were building that, they were encroaching the tank area, and the tank space got constricted or started reducing it. So somehow he heard from the people who are talking loudly, see these atrocities going around the temple tank, and our Kamalalayam is shrinking day by day because he could not see, but he wanted to help. And he said, Lord Shiva will give me the mental strength and the physical strength to somehow what we call, make it big again, re-expand the Kamalalayam tank. And how did he do that? He is totally blind. So what he did was, he put a staff or a strong wooden piece where he wanted to dig the soil so that he can make the tank little bigger. So there, and then one plank was completely inserted into the steps of the tank, and he tied a rope between these two pillars, or the what we call pillars. So he used to dig the soil, and then carry the mud pot and threw the sand on the banks of the temple. So he was doing that, and hesitatingly he was doing that. Of course, the tongue was chanting the name of Om Namah Shivaya. That would never go out of his mouth. So this is how he did every day. And then he was doing it for several days like that. And then he was begging for the mercy of Lord Shiva. And he said that the tongue was chanting his Om Namah Shivaya, and then his hands and legs were doing the service to the Lord's temple tank. And then that gave him more strength day by day. His strength got increased. And guess what? What will happen? The Jains who were looking at it, they could not tolerate this. They were overcome by jealousy and also arrogance, which are the two things which will be their own enemies, right? So they could not tolerate this, and they were talking to Dandiadigal. Oh, do you think that you are expanding the temple tank and you are digging the soil and you are killing innumerable living beings underneath in the sand, in the mud of the temple? And in what way you are going to get your merit or punya? You are killing so many living beings every day, and then already you are born as a blind person. Now you are going to it's going to be a problem for you, adding to your sin. What are the things you are going to befall? We don't know. So that is how they spoke. So it's always when somebody is doing a good deed, others who could not tolerate, they will try to taunt him and then discourage him, and then somehow stop the good work what he is doing. Because the more taunting means, any human being will say, okay, that's okay, I'm not going to do this in front of him. Something will happen to their mental courage. They will try to bring down their mental courage. So that's what happened to them. And then Dandiadigal knew they are talking with sweet words in their mouth, in the tip of the tongue, but inwardly they have what we call the cheating, or what we call the haunting this person. But outwardly they say, you are killing too many lives, which is not good for you, something like that. And then, but internally they want him to stop that act. And then Dandiadigal said, okay, I know I am doing a service to my Lord Shiva. So if I did something wrong, he will take care of me. You need not worry. Okay? And then immediately they retaliated. Oh, now we understand whatever good we say, you're not going to listen. Because so far you do not have eyes, but from today we consider you as a deaf person also, because you are not going to listen to anything good what we are talking to you. So this Dandiadigal was also very angry, and he said, yes, you are also blind to the others' feelings, and you are not listening to the others' bhava, the emotions, how they feel and how they are belittled by your acting. You did not know all these things. So, I will pray to my Lord to restore my eyesight, and if that comes back to me, what will you do? Who makes him talk like that? The Shiva, the Namah Shivaya, what he was uttering, gave him that mental strength to retaliate with that question. And they were provoked by that question. Oh, is that so? If you get back your eyes and eyesight, we will leave this place. We promise you this. And he said, oh, then I have to pray more intensely to Lord Shiva. And then we were saying this, they didn't keep quiet. They pulled out the 2 wooden staff what he has planted to expand the thing, and also the rope, everything they cut and then they threw it. Saying that, okay, you bring it. Bring your eyes. Ask your Shiva to give you eyes. Then we will leave the place. So, the Dandiadigal was now more intensely he started praying. And then he went to the temple and pleaded to Lord. See, you made them insult me. That is okay. But the insult is not only for me, it is for you also. How are you going to solve this problem? I mean, they're all human beings, we can understand. But if they do not respect the other religion, we need not consider them as human beings at all. So, how are you going to help me? And you need to help me so that this pain of me, how they spoke to me and insulted me, will go away. You have to act in such a way. So that was the pleading of Dandiadigal to Lord Shiva in the temple. And that day he could not do his service to Lord because the pillars and the rope, everything was thrown away. So he retired to the bed, and then he was weeping with sorrow. And at that time, Lord Shiva appeared in his dream and he said, do not worry. I am there to help you, and I will show what you are worth of. Okay? I will show what you are worth of. And then you will not feel guilty at all of what you have been doing, and how people who are insulted are going to be punished, you will not know. That also will happen. Because, as I told in the previous things, Bhagavan will tolerate somebody insulting him alone. But if they try to insult his own devotees, dear devotees, he will not tolerate. He will immediately plunge into action. Okay? So, then the Lord Shiva did not stop there. He went into the dream of the king who was ruling at that time. And he said, Dandiadigal has been doing the service for us. For us means for me and all the devotees of Shiva. And you cannot make him a laughing stock in front of the others. So what you do is, you have to go, and tomorrow morning you have to go to Dandiadigal and promise him that you will take care of expanding the Kamalalayam tank. So the next morning, sun came out, and immediately the king and the advisor and the order given by Lord Shiva went to Dandiadigal. And he explained what all happened in his dream. And then he called on to the Jains who were insulting Dandiadigal and asked them, did you ever say that if Dandiadigal gets back his mundane eyes, with the eyesight, then you will all leave the place. They had to agree because it was a large group and so many witnesses were there and they cannot negate that. So they said, yes, we were saying that if he gets the eyes and with the eyesight, we will leave the place promptly. There is no doubt about it. Then, on hearing this promise, Dandiadigal slowly stepped down to the temple tank. Then everybody wanted to come and see what is happening. And then the kings told him, if you can get back your eyes and eyesight as Bhagavan said, then we will see what is the next thing. So Dandiadigal took a deep dip into the waters of the temple tank, praying to Lord Shiva, saying that it is the challenge for you. Okay, I am only an instrument through which you are going to show your magnanimity and your the way how you protect your devotees. With that thought, he took a dip and then came up. Guess what? That Karuna Murti, the Karuna Sagara, however you call him, the ocean of mercy, ocean of compassion, the eyes were lit and he could see the material world right now. So he got back his eyes. He was born blind. Okay, so his eyes were restored and the eyesight was given to them. And then he said, if I am really truly doing my service to the Lord Shiva, to you Lord Shiva, you will protect me. You will not give up on me. So with these words, he got up, and what Bhagavan said, Lord Shiva said in the dream that your opponents will meet their results. What we call, that is, all the Jains who were standing, who came to witness, they all started losing their eyesight. They all started losing their eyesight and they could not walk properly. Some of them fell in the ditch or whatever, and they could not, they were all really punished for their unnecessary talk towards the great devotee of Sri Lord Shiva. So, if they can practice their religion, but they cannot talk bad about another religion. And these are all established religion already. And they come in with their thought of spreading it. So, okay, spread it. Whoever wants to join, they can join. But you cannot force the other people saying that your Lord is not great, our Lord. That kind of a thing will never work in this Sanatana world. Okay, so that is true to any religion for that matter. If they try to force and get the people just by throwing some coins at them, it is not going to help them. So this is what happened. And then the king gave an order, all these Jains should quit as they promised. Not even a single person can live because you yourself agreed not to give here. So many of them lost their lives even while they were walking because they did not know where the roads are, where the ditch are. There's no difference for them now. They started losing their eyesight. So this is how. And then the king made all the encroachments, whatever were built by the Jains, completely removed from. They were all flattened. They were all removed from the sides, and now the temple tank was brought back to its original size. And then that's how. And then Dandiadigal was extremely happy for the karunya or the compassion shown by his own Lord, and he did not fail him, and he did not he did show the whole world that any insult to my dear devotee will bear its results. So that's how he showed the Jains that they cannot play with his devotees. So after that, Dandiadigal lived for quite some time, chanting the name of the Lord Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya Panchakshara Mantram. And then, of course, he attained the lotus feet of Lord Shiva one day. So this is the story of Dandiadigal, in which Nattamigu in Tamil language is one who was completely engrossed in the worship of Lord Shiva. Nattamigu Dandikum Murkarukkum Adiyen. He is talking about another Nayanaar also in this. So we will continue with that story in the next session. Namaste, Vanakkam, enjoy.